Yeah. And now, Jabroni Studios, in association with Big Herm Productions, is proud to present to you, recording from an undisclosed location in Oakdale, Connecticut, it's Chris Burns, it's Chris Lynch, this is Dysfunction Junction.
Is the music playing?
The music played, it is over, and this is the part where I say, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to take a little trip down memory lane based on these categories that we've been
Did you not hear it?
I don't fucking know. I don't know if I'm in the right fucking time zone right now because this fucking internet sucks my cock.
He's so angry.
How many fingers am I holding up?
One.
It's a V?
Yes, V. I'm holding up 5 fingers, the Roman numeral 5, right there.
Oh, clever.
Ladies and gentlemen, we're going to take you on a nostalgic trip down memory lane based on these categories the gentlemen have sent. And of course, at the end, Herm's going to herm it. And we're all going to have to herm it with him. It's top 10 list tonight. Welcome, you motherfuckers.
Fuck yeah.
Fuck yeah. There you go. My name's Chris Burns. With me, as always, the wizard of Wi-Fi himself.
Chris Lynch. Ooh.
In the bottom right corner. Fucking you. What are you doing?
Ooh.
What are you? No. Let's start with Herm.
He's
You're
trying out for
goofiness
Beetlejuice
down
3.
there. Right down there, you're okay. Herm is laughing at the wind at this point. He doesn't know what the fuck he's doing.
Just nothing. The whole situation. The Wizard of Wi-Fi.
It just came to me. It's like
Whiffy.
This nigga can't get a signal for nothing.
Oh,
hold on. It's got dial-up. Sound like a fax machine in there.
In the bottom right corner, we have the usual suspect. He joins us when he can, and when he can, he is on target. Let's welcome the Baconator, Mr. Matt Marsh.
And Matt Marsh.
Reap it, bitches, reap it.
And Matt Marsh.
And of course, why are you flipping off Matt Marsh? What the fuck did he do to you?
Yeah.
I don't know.
You're angry as shit lately. I'm starting to get worried.
Say, Kaczynski is fucking pissed tonight.
Damn.
If I get a package that ticks in the next couple of days, I know who sent it.
Jesus.
Thank God everything that comes to the house is monitored by the security system.
See, there it is. There's the beginning of his next bomb.
There it is. The Grinch that stole Wifey.
Oh man, what do we got there? Is
that a ColecoVision controller?
Oh my God! No, those were up and down with the pad down below and the control and the knob up top. I love ColecoVision.
Great show, ladies and gentlemen. We'll see you next week. I
didn't have one.
That's some sort of a mixer.
The producer extraordinaire. The man with no hair.
Little mixer.
That's me.
Down another 22.6, if I read that correctly.
Yeah, 23 pounds as of week 3, 23 pounds. There it is.
Yep.
The incredible shrinking Herm. The incredible shrinking Herm. Big Herm, Michael P.S. Herman.
What is up? Yeah, I figure
I'm Lily Tomlin.
I'm like 8% smaller.
Fucking 2 weeks in a row, I haven't moved.
You know why? That is, Matt.
You know what? It's time for a Skittles week, bro. Go on.
I think it has more to do with the. I went to Saltoro at the Sun Thursday night. And then I went to Sneakers Saturday night.
Jesus Christ, dude.
Yeah, I know.
I'm taking this diet seriously. Oh, look,
Yeah, but here's the thing. You did really good for a really long fucking time, right? So the app awards you like a cheat day every time you have a really good week.
Yeah,
like,
but twice
I'm fucking killing it on. I'm killing it on cheat days because I'm average. I started at 2,400 calories, and my average is 1,400 a day.
I didn't take a cheat day for 14 fucking weeks.
Yeah, no, that's what I'm saying. But now Matt's like
took them all at once.
Yo, but now like he hoarded that shit, right? So now Matt's got numbers to be like, I'm taking a fucking diet vacation. I got 2 weeks saved up. I can cheat for 2 fucking weeks.
Yeah, I've been semi-sensible.
You know what I mean? Matt literally has the ability to be like, I'm not doing anything correctly this whole fucking week.
Yeah,
and still have a week's worth of time on the books to spend. He's like me, like this diet, I haven't taken a cheat day yet, and I usually take one right out. It was right from the start. So I'm 4 weeks in without a cheat day. So
yeah, but we both know I can't take them all like that. It'll fuck me all up.
No, it'll fuck you all up. You know, you'll gain 10 pounds and then.
I'm back on track good this week. I'm expecting some good numbers.
Yeah, I already factored my dinner in, and if I factored my portions right, I'm looking at about 1,100 calories for the day.
Yeah,
maybe 13.
Wow, that's way lower than me. I'm looking at about
maybe 13 with my bedtime smoothie.
I think I'm averaging about 1,600 this week, so I'm not doing too bad.
This is Tuesday night. I'm allowed to say shit I'm not allowed to say on Wednesday night. So I'm gonna say this now. You gay boys.
You got me 2 times.
Oh, it's like
a clone.
It's like a stereoscope. It's lovely.
Oh, yeah, but he's wearing different outfits. How's that possible?
It's the same outfit. It's just different lighting.
Oh,
and different cameras.
I thought my idea was
camera on his phone is better than a camera on his computer.
Oh, what's on his hat? I can't make it out. It's grainy.
I don't know. Something from Vietnam. Probably something angry.
Oh, makes sense.
You know,
makes sense.
Wow. This has been the most interesting 6.5 minutes I've ever
back
seen.
When Grandpa was in the war. Tell him, Grandpa. Tell him the story.
Back in WW1, I got mustard gas wounds all over my body.
When I was in Korea, I had to take care of some really great things.
No, when I was in Korea.
Well, as we used to call
I could go back to
sex world.
I used to have to chop the Chinese at their knees.
I was up to my knees in rice patties, duking it out with them.
Jesus Christ.
All right, I got a quick hit before we get into our list.
What do you got?
Other than the Republicans and the Democrats beating the shit out of each other online, one of the most divisive things I've seen this week was the unfortunate death of Jack Russell, the lead singer of Great White.
I love those songs.
What about Phil Donahue?
I'm getting to that.
That's what I'm saying.
I said divisive.
Phil changed my life.
On one hand, you have the people who say, oh, Jack Russell, great singer, yada, yada, yada. And I understand being here in New England and having gone to that club about
fuck that dude
2 dozen times.
I thought he died in a fire years ago.
Fuck that dude.
Fuck that dude. Yeah.
That fire was in
2003. More than people hate the Yankees around there. Mm-hmm.
I know.
So the band survived?
Well, I mean,
one member died in that fire.
The band is mostly alive. Their career is not, they can't tour fucking Massachusetts, Rhode Island, Connecticut.
Oh, they did. They did a show a couple years ago as a benefit, and it was, I'll say, lukewarmly recepted.
Yeah, like they can't even they can't even get a crowd when it's for somebody else and trying to raise. Like they're not the best band to call if you're trying to raise money.
Right. The problem I have with it is Jack Russell didn't set off those fireworks. If I blame anybody, I blame the tour manager. I blame the owners of the club. They all entered into that contract. Jack Russell has.
Just fuck that guy.
Yeah, it's very New England to say fuck that guy. But to me, I mean, I still rock Great White on my shuffle. I tried to avoid the song they were playing, which is one of my favorite Great White tunes, When the Fire Started, which was Desert Moon.
There's the jokes write itself for that. But
I'll
be honest, my mom really liked a bunch of the songs on their first album. Because of the piano.
Yeah.
I've never heard their stuff.
I'll send you a couple tunes.
I may have heard it, but I don't know them by it.
My mother loved Once Bitten, Twice Shy. I'm like,
it was a remake.
I know that.
It was a remake from the 60s, and someone else wrote it. And it was all piano, and they throw a couple rock guitars in there, and now you've got this modernized version.
I thought that was Poison.
No. Poison couldn't write anything that good.
No.
Okay.
But listen, I've said it before. When OJ died, I made the joke. At least now OJ can rest easy knowing that the killer is no longer at large. It doesn't mean I didn't mourn the fact that here's this guy I grew up with, much like Jack Russell and Great White.
He's coming back.
You have this guy you grew up with. He's giving you a billion memories. One bad thing isn't now we're letting him back in twice.
Twice?
Oh, my Lord. Hi, Lynch. Hi, Lynch.
Lynch, I'm on the phone too. It's okay, buddy.
All I'm going to say is Jack Russell didn't kill any kids. Jack Russell didn't chop his wife's heads off. Jack Russell didn't punch your mom in the eye. Jack Russell sang for a living. Let him be.
He did?
It's been 21 years. He accepted his role.
I'm not going to shit on the guy completely because look, just fuck that guy. But, also he was a person. So, you know what I mean?
Right. And no matter what you feel about someone, what is it? 4 weeks ago, we've been memory holed so bad that we've forgotten that Donald Trump was almost killed. That he's got young kids. He's got older kids. He's got a family. He's got whatever. Does it change my life if Donald Trump dies? No. Does it change my life if Jack Russell dies? No. But it changes somebody's life. And people have to remember that. And it's ridiculous. Please let this guy rest in peace.
Well, what's the big redonk about him?
What the fuck was that?
Well, what's the big deal about the what?
Is that a sound effect?
True.
You're buzzing every word you speak.
You sound like Donald Duck.
Yeah, something weird's going on, baby boy. I don't know what's up.
Try your question again.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah.
Gotcha. We can see your beard too.
I see. There's a baby bird in it.
How about now?
Uh-oh.
Yeah.
I think you're getting interference from stuff, but go ahead.
Is that better?
Yes.
That is better.
Yeah, that's good.
Ask your question, sir.
So what's the Great White? I missed that part.
All right. So Great White was the band did a show in Rhode Island.
He knows all that.
Oh, I know all that part.
And
I know the guy just died.
Yeah,
I know the guy just
people.
Well, yeah,
people in Massachusetts, Rhode Island, and Connecticut are losing their shit.
Well, yeah.
Okay, here, let me break this down.
See, there was this fire that happened he's in this band, and there was this fire. I don't know. This keeps circling around for some reason. That's why, because he was a member of the band where that tragedy happened, and he's guilt by association in New England as far as that's fucking concerned. All right? It doesn't matter how long you live. Babe is always going to get told that fuck him. He left Brooklyn. Fuck Babe. And that's how New Yorkers roll. And it's and that's the same thing. Anything to do with that band, with that tragedy that touched so many people's lives in that little tiny state, fuck that guy. It doesn't matter. Now, I'm not being nasty and getting nasty about him. But if anybody was to ask, hey, sorry, that's sad. Fuck that guy. And that's how I would respond.
And you're allowed to believe that. You're allowed to think that.
As a Rhode Islander at the time, and it actually affecting me, yeah, big deal.
Dude, as a guy who lost
but going on some kind of crusade like some of the people are about him,
before we close out,
he's just guilt by association, and that's
as a guy who was invited to that show that night, didn't go, obviously. Hi, here I am. As a guy who lost two friends in that fire, as a guy who has talked to 12 people that were involved in that fire over the years, read the books. This doesn't fall on Jack Russell's lap. He's like Herm said, it's guilt by association. The Providence news station, WJAR 10, put up the blurb. Jack Russell, Great White singer, dead at 63. You get a couple people saying, "Oh, that's sad." You know, he was, what was it, Lewy body dementia that he was?
Yeah.
That he was just recently diagnosed with. Okay, people were like, "Oh, that's sad. Rest in peace." Oh, here come the people. Fuck you. He was responsible. Well, no, technically he wasn't, but yes, he was. It's a really gray area. Read John Burlick's book, Killer Show. It'll get it. He's a lawyer. It'll take you down the deepest, darkest paths of who you can blame, why you should blame them, and why Jack Russell has about this much blame versus everybody else. And
yeah, it was the pyro guy.
See.
It was the pyro guy and the owners, and that's pretty much what it all boils down to.
Oh, it goes deeper. The fire inspector who grandfathered them in without sprinklers. The fact that they packed that club 100 over. Yeah,
absolutely. Right off the rip, it's the owners and the pyro guy. There was so many things behind the scene inspections that had been just signed off on, but the foam wasn't actually checked or sampled.
Yeah, weren't the doors chained or something?
No. If I've been in that club, I can break it down for you. If you're staring at the stage and you're behind you left, there was an alcove that had doors, but because of the sound, they had to build a concrete wall, so the doors had to be chained. But there were 1, 2, 3, 4 other exits.
Those doors led nowhere. They weren't actual doors to anywhere. They just
and everybody who goes to this club knows it. The one exit that people could have gotten through, which is where I used to stand for every show I went to there, was they were like band only. There was like a burly guy standing there telling people the building's on fire. You can't come out this way. Dude, the building is on fire. I'm going that way. Kill me. If the fire doesn't, you should, because that's an exit. You should be leading people out. You could have saved 50, 60, 70 lives that night.
How many people died?
What was it?
100
people.
100 even. Yeah. The final tally, people have died since then, but the final tally within that month and a half, 2 months was 100 people.
Well.
And if you've never gone to that park, go take a look. It's very sobering and very beautiful.
There's a park.
I take a trip every year.
Well,
West Warwick, Rhode Island.
They turned it into a memorial park.
Really?
It's beautiful. I went the day it opened, and it's gorgeous. But I just wanted to mention that, dude. Seriously, stop. Whatever you think of the guy, it doesn't mean you must chime in. MF him in private. Fuck him. He's dead. He can't hurt me. He hasn't hurt me. You know who has hurt me? These top 10 lists. So I've come up with an order. We're going to go from Lynch to Marsh to me, and Herm wants to be the main event because he's herming it as usual.
Well, no, I just want to close out the show.
Okay. So I have my lists ready based on your categories and mine.
And you guys can do all of the talking about all three of the lists and how they work, because you all did 3 lists each, right?
I was gonna do 4, but I ran out of time.
I did whatever they told me. Lynch said comic strips. I did it. Marsh said TV themes. I did it. I said animated television programs. I did it. I have 3 lists, top 10 lists here. Right now, get your pen ready, Marsh. You better start writing shit down.
God
of course you are. You know what? Maybe we should change. Nope, too late. Lynch will start, and I'll go second. He's got to write down his shit. Look at him. Look at him.
What am I?
What was that in English?
What am I doing?
Your list, which you sent to me, was top 10 comic strips, right?
Yeah.
All right. So at least now we're on board with something. All right, let's take these folks down on a trip down memory lane. Comic strips, for those of you who don't know, who get all your news on the internet, were featured usually in section 2, last page. You read all the funnies. You had your horoscope right next to it. Maybe you played, what was that, Cryptologic or whatever the fuck it was?
Yep.
Crypto quote, crossword.
The jumbles.
The jumble. I love the jumble. I was good. I used to do
the jumble.
That page also had the bridge.
Yes.
Had the bridge on the back of it. The bridge scenarios.
That was before Sudoku, wasn't it?
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
And some papers even had it's a cribbage.
Cribbage, yes.
Yes.
All right. Hopefully Lynch's duck call will fix itself. So here we go. Lynch is going to start with, this was his idea, top 10 comic strips.
Now, for me, these are in no particular order. They are stuff that I read daily or weekly, because some comic strips are only weekends. So, top of my list, in no particular order, was Calvin and Hobbes, Andy Cap,
Ooh,
Hager the Horrible, Barry, Garfield, Bloom County, Flower, Beetle Bailey, and Peanuts.
our lists aren't too different.
Okay, just quick comment. Isn't the point of a top 10 list supposed to be some sort of specific order from 10 to 1?
That's how I did mine.
I never do it that way.
I didn't do mine that way either.
Yeah, that's a good one. Either
that's just that. Well, then it's just a list.
I mean, I had 15 and I narrowed it down to my top 10, but I didn't.
I will say ahead of time, when we get to Marsh's TV themes, I doubled up on one because I couldn't figure out
that. I can do.
Could not figure out which one I wanted and where I wanted it, so I said, "Fuck it, they're both number 4."
That was tough, man. That was 80s.
It
gold.
Was, dude. That was my favorite list to do, by the way.
That was fun.
The hardest one for me was the cartoon shows.
Really?
I didn't watch a lot of them.
I watched a ton of them, and I had a tough time. That was when I had to thin down, but
not me. The only one I really had an issue with was when I picked my number 10. I'm like, there were 3 versions of this show. I need to narrow it down. I need to, lock it in. So
lock it in. All right, that was my comic strips.
All right, let's go with Marsh. Give us your top 10 comic strips from the day.
Ooh, top 10 comic strips. Okay, here we go. I had Garfield. I was a big fan. Bloom County. I was a big fan of Bloom County.
I was
Doonesbury.
Doonesbury.
And it's funny because I didn't realize it was even political till like years later as I started getting older. And I was like, well, as a kid, I'm like, oh, the funny pictures.
Political.
What's that?
That was like one of my first
your intro
to politics.
Yeah.
Was reading the political shit, and because it coincided every week with what happened in the fucking news.
If I was like a kid now reading it, I'd be like Googling shit, like, what the fuck? Oh. But
right.
What is the Strategics Arms Initiative?
Yeah, right. I mean, was Doonesbury or Bloom County? I mean, the fucking the uncle there with the sunglasses and the CIA guy.
The
Duke
Opus.
Yep.
Fucking
Opus.
Yeah. Let's see. I had Beetle Bailey, Heathcliff. He was an orange cat. He was kind of like Garfield, but he was a bit tougher.
Yeah, he was Garfield tougher. If you got him off of Team U.
Yeah. And he's not fucking people up. I mean, he was beating up dogs and shit. Calvin and Hobbes, I dug that. This one wasn't in the Sundays, but it was a comic strip. Spy versus Spy from Mad Magazine.
Yes. I remember that.
I dug that.
I used to buy some of those books.
As an aside, certain papers in the country would have Spy versus Spy as a Sunday.
I did not know that.
Yeah,
New York Daily News.
Didn't the Day have it?
The Day had Spy versus Spy in their Sunday special.
Really?
Yes.
Sunday edition.
Day you know what? Okay, yeah. Let's see. I had that. I had The Phantom by Lee Falk and Andy Cap.
Wow.
There's a lot of similarities on that list.
Yep.
Well, here comes some more similarities. Number 10 on my list was Hager the Horrible.
Right.
Love that.
Nice.
Wonderful. Number 9 was Bloom County.
Mm-hmm.
Number 8, I don't know why, but I always got a kick out of the Family Circus.
Loved that.
Yes.
Yeah, that was a good one.
I regret to tell you that Garfield does not appear on my list because I just never.
That shit happens.
I never got into it. Number 7.
I too understood being fat and liking lasagna.
I understand that. Yeah, that works. Number 7, Calvin and Hobbes. Number 6, the original and perhaps one of the best, Peanuts. Number 5, Blondie. Dagwood with those sandwiches. I don't know how this doesn't make Matt Marsh's list. The Dagwood sandwich. The Dagwood sandwich.
I had Blondie on the list. I forgot to mention it.
Well, there you go. Number 4, Beetle Bailey. Number 3, you might not know this one. You might. The Lockhorns.
I remember the Lockhorns. That was that old married couple.
Yes, and they were
them.
always shitting on each other, and it was so god dang funny. Number 2, Doonesbury. And my number 1 is The Far Side.
Oh, nice.
Yep.
Wow, you guys brought back memories with these lists. I was going through them.
With me. Some weeks I was like, oh shit.
I was like, I'm making my list, and I'm like, I got to move this one because this one's better. But wait, no, this one's better. At one point, I just said, fuck it. The Far Side is number 1. The other 9, we're just going to put in random order. All right. So this one's going to involve some explaining by everybody involved. Herm, you don't have lists for any of these, do you?
No.
Understood. You're commenting willy-nilly as we go along.
Herm, are you wearing a tracksuit?
No.
Okay. I didn't know if the diet thing and you would just
it's
a fucking run.
Like
it's a polo shirt.
I saw the stripes. It looked like a fucking 80s tracksuit. I didn't know.
No, it's like a golf shirt. It's like that dry wick fabric collar.
The Jersey Mafia tracksuit combination.
There you go. There's Tony Soprano Jones right there. All right. So we're going to have to explain a couple of these because we're just going to go with it. Starting with Matt Marsh, the creator of said list.
Oh, yeah.
This is your top 10 TV theme songs of all time.
Yeah, TV theme songs. Now, most of these for me were back in the 80s, and a lot of these TV shows, the cool thing about then and some of the late 70s, in addition to the themes, they'd spend like the first 45 seconds giving you like a brief origin synopsis of what the freaking show, what the hell was going on. It's like, son of a bitch.
Like last week,
the beginning
on
of
Days of Our Lives. Yes.
Right. Yeah.
Fuck. I love this guy. He's a made man.
That shit freaking, So let's see. I got number 1, I had Knight Rider. That was
really you like the reviews?
The who?
The reviews, and they rehashed it last week.
Oh, the recaps. No. I just like the intro where at the beginning, usually before they did the theme, where they just briefly explained.
They gave you the synopsis,
the main character, and what the show's about. Like Manimal, it was a dude and freaking who runs into a temple in Africa and gets animal powers and shit.
His origins. The origin story in 10 seconds. In about
10 seconds. 12 seconds.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like
in
the
1962,
when they talk at the beginning of the
yes!
where they talk about how they're Vietnam vets and they wrongly accused, and now they're off doing their shit. So
David Banner is believed to be dead, and he must let the world think that he is dead until he can find a way to capture the beast that lives inside him.
So you could be new and tune into that shit, and you didn't have to be like, okay, what the fuck's this about? It's like,
you know what the show's about.
Yeah.
Fuck.
I dug that.
What a great intro.
Yeah, so I did that. Let's see. Some of them have, some don't. I think my number 2 as far as theme songs went was Airwolf.
Ooh.
Number 3, another catchy little tune. I had MacGyver.
All right.
Number 4, this one started with an intro, depending on whether it was a miniseries or the regular series, was V. I dug that shit, freaking Something Fierce. That scared the shit out of me as a kid. And then I had the A-Team. That was an intro one. Number 6 was The Fall Guy. That had an intro to it as well.
That song was great.
They had the song, and then it talked about him being a bounty hunter and shit, and I was like, that was cool. 7, I had a little show with Sam Jones called The Highwayman, where he had an 18-wheeler that turned into a helicopter.
Oh, I remember that one.
Yep, that was like a less than 1 season deal. Then I had Dukes of Hazzard. Had to have Dukes of Hazzard.
Oh, wow. I don't know how I left that off my list.
Yeah, I mean, that shit was freaking... I mean, the song was the freaking origin by Waylon Jennings. He basically narrated the whole thing. I was like,
yes.
Cool. Then I had Hardcastle and McCormick. I didn't really care for the show a ton, but the intro was freaking... got you all pumped up and shit. And then I had The Incredible Hulk. It was a little slower going, but...
There are so many that you mentioned that I'm upset that aren't on my list, but the ones I have are good enough. What about you, Lynch? What do you got for your top 10 TV theme songs?
Oh, I actually did in some sort of probably by like, to me, the most most memories, and probably like just like my favorite tune. Number 10, 9, Fresh Prince of Bel-Air. 8, The Cosby Show.
Ooh, wait. The Cosby Show changed their gimmick every year, though.
They did. That was a choreographed dance and shit.
The original Cosby Show theme song.
Okay.
The original first season
Yeah,
one.
there was like 3 different theme songs.
Yeah.
But
The original one.
Towards the end, there was like this dance montage with like
like the
weird
fourth
shit.
the 4th through the 7th season it was the same premise, the same tune, but played differently, and they all danced and did their thing.
I still like watching reruns of that, even with his history. I mean, as far as
who gives a shit? It's a great show. It's the Jack Russell conversation. It's a great fucking show.
It was.
Barney Miller, because it was mentioned the other day.
God damn it.
Fuck you guys. Whoever brought that up in the chat, fuck you. It's been in my head for 4 fucking days.
Because that was stuck in my head all day. All day I had doom. All day. I'm like, fuck. Every time somebody's talking to me and all I hear is doom, doom. Fuck. Yeah, all day. And then that's it. Now somebody's had it stuck in their head for a while.
Thanks. Much appreciated. That. Wait till next week. I'm going to put some shit in your head. Go ahead, Lynch, please.
Where was I? Number 6. Family Tie.
Okay.
All right.
5, the Brady Bunch.
Oh.
4, Law and Order.
Okay.
3,
Hey, you
repeat 3, please.
Guys.
Hill Street Blues.
I never watched that.
2, MASH.
Oh,
that's how we knew it was time for bed.
I forgot about
that and Hill Street Blues. That's what Hill Street Blues meant to me.
Exactly.
When Hill Street
it was
Blues
bedtime.
came on, if it came on and I was still up when it was on, I was up late and I should be going to bed. I usually listen to the first 15, 20 minutes of that show while my parents laid in bed and watched it in their bedroom, and from my room I could hear it.
Amazing.
But, yeah, like that's how I knew it was bedtime.
And number 1, the Jeffersons.
All right.
Which was a spin-off of
All in the Family.
All the Family.
All right. Wow. My list seems terrible next to yours, but I hope I do you guys proud. I do have 3 honorable mentions that I'll mention.
I have a ton of
yeah, sure. I understood. Like, I could list 100 songs, but I'm like, I want to leave it to 3 and let it lie. My number 10, Sanford & Son.
Oh, nice.
Which has been my ringtone for about 15 years.
Fuck, you got to have Good Times in there, too, then. Shit.
What is that?
I said you got to have Good Times in there, too, then.
Let me get through my list. Let me get through my list, Assface. Let me get through it. Yeah, Marvin Gaye and Quincy Jones, The Street Beater. That was Sanford & Son. It's also on my shuffle. It pisses my daughter off to no end.
Yeah, it's been off of that one, too.
Which was called Sanford, Just Fred.
They actually 2 spinoffs because they had another one with Grady that lasted about 6 episodes.
Oh, no shit. I didn't know about that.
Yep.
Well, this show gave you...
Nobody else did either, and that's why it was only 6 episodes.
Right? Number 9 had spinoffs, too. Number 9, Different Strokes. Because if somebody says
the world is a spinoff of Different Strokes.
Exactly. If somebody says to you, the world don't move, and you don't immediately think to the beat of just one drum, you're doing it wrong.
Yep.
Great fucking song. Who wrote that song?
The Bee Gees.
Alan Thicke.
No shit.
Really?
Yes, sir.
Alan Thicke. Yes, sir.
Alan Thicke wrote the theme song to Different Strokes.
Wow.
Dude, him and Mike Post, if you watch the show in the 80s, chances are they wrote the song. And there's a couple Mike Posts in here, and I think there's one other Alan Thicke one. I'm not sure. Number 9, All in the Family.
Nice.
Because
that reminds me.
Come on.
That's my.
Yeah.
You gotta love. You have to. Oh my God. Yeah. Well, the Jeffersons was a spinoff.
It was. And
Gloria.
Archie's Place.
Maud.
Yeah.
Oh my God. Fuck.
And Good Times was a spinoff of Maud.
That's right, because Florida
was the maid.
Oh my shit. Yes. All right. Number 7, Miami Vice. None of you did this right.
Fuck.
You did not have Miami fucking Vice on your list. You're all fired. However, I think both of you had my number 6, Hill Street Blues.
I didn't have it.
Doesn't matter. When you heard I'm going with Herm on this one. When you heard Hill Street Blues, you knew it was time for bed.
Be careful out there.
Yeah.
Yeah. Be careful.
Number five, Matt Marsh already took it, but it was only season 1 because then they switched to some touchy-feely bullshit, Hardcastle and McCormick.
Yeah.
I don't remember that one at all.
That's a Mike Post gimmick.
That was,
it was
Brian Keith and
Daniel Hugh Kelly.
Daniel
Hugh Kelly.
Yep.
Drive! Yeah, sing it, Herm.
They had that fucking coyote or whatever the hell that car was.
2 separate cars.
Drive it like the demon that drives your dreams.
I'm just gonna sit back, enjoy myself.
I never watched the show.
Oh, just go find the theme song.
But the theme song was killer.
Fuck yeah, I hated that show. My dad was into, well, obviously being a cop, God rest his soul, was into all those crime and gimmick shows, and this one put everything together.
Coming out in a bathrobe with a shotgun and shit. It was fucking
hell yeah, and a Yankees cap. That's what got me.
Yep.
No matter what he was doing, had the Yankee cap on.
He's got his judge's robes on and just boxers underneath. It was a fucking trick.
All right, number 4 is where I had a problem.
And the pulse.
Yes.
When they're doing the constant pulse check.
Yep. Number 4, I hermed it. I couldn't figure out where to put these two on the list, so they share number 4. Good Times and the Jeffersons.
Right on.
Good Times was probably
not a great way to not sound like he segregated the 2 black shows to one position.
Listen to you.
That was John Amos as freaking James Evans. I thought he was like the greatest dad of the 70s as far as
he was the best. Nothing. He was the best, and he would tell you, I'm going to put a foot in your butt.
Yep, fired after 2 seasons.
I still remember to this day when they wrote him off the show after he was fired, and I still use it to this day when shit goes wrong at work. I'm like, damn. It's gorgeous. All right, here we go. Number 3. None of you had it on your list. You did it wrong. Cheers.
Ah, fuck.
There you go.
My honorable mentions.
Okay, fair enough.
I love Cheers.
Number 2, The A-Team.
Yeah.
And number 1
theme song wasn't bad. The last season.
Yeah.
They tweaked it a bit.
When they did the original in 1972, a crack commando unit was sentenced to federal prison for a crime they didn't commit.
Court for a crime they didn't commit.
They immediately escaped to the Los Angeles Underground.
And I spent years as a little kid trying to figure out what the fuck is the Los Angeles Underground. I thought it was a subway. I'm like, what the fuck? I mean, I was 8. I'm like, what the fuck is the underground?
Matt, you really didn't think this one through.
You did.
I was 8.
That's fine. Number 1, I hope you guys don't throw a flag on this one because to me, it's a TV theme song. It's been playing for now almost 50 years running. The Monday Night Football orchestral theme.
Oh.
When you hear dun 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 dun, bum, bum, your chest gets puffy, your shoulders go back. You're like, yeah.
Yeah, even as a non-football fan, I remember that.
Oh yeah, Herm and I went to WrestleMania 11 back in 1861, and they had all the football players come down, and they came down to that music, and it chest out, shoulders back, dun 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 dun.
That's one thing I wish I could go back and do is go to WrestleMania 1.
WrestleMania 1? We're talking about 11.
Okay.
No, I
But
know.
WrestleMania 1 would have been fun.
I would just like to say that you've all failed.
I want to hear this because I have my honorable mentions. If mine's on the list, you're fucked up.
No, it didn't make the list. 1 through 10. Those are your options. Honorable
Okay.
mentions.
Well, fuck you. You're herming it again.
Not really. I mean, you never specified that was the way it works, so I'm clarifying that that's how it does. You
Mr.
He's
Diddy
the
all this.
producer.
I'm the producer.
Yeah, he's the producer.
You all failed. Not one of you said greatest American hero.
It's on my honorable mentions.
That song actually made
Yeah.
it into regular radio.
Yes, it did.
Yes,
Who was the guy that did it?
Mike Post, another Mike Post song.
Yeah,
Wasn't
but
it Mike
the singer was listed as the guy when they put the
some way.
single out.
Right. Look at what
What
happened
is
to
it?
me. I can't believe it myself.
Something
I
like
can't
yeah.
believe it myself.
Who was the guy?
Sounded like BJ Thomas, kind of.
Should have
But
been somebody else.
Dun, 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 dun. Hold on.
Believe it or not.
Oh my God! Please don't.
Greatest American
Get on
hero.
here.
I wonder who did they credit it. I don't think they credit it to Mike Post, though. Joey Scarberry, who had exactly 2 hits, this one and something we don't know
I don't
about.
feel bad at all about that. I never heard of him.
Well, nobody else did either. It's why
come
the
on,
one.
Ralph. Love that show. My favorite show. Come on,
Yeah.
Ralph. Just put on the pajamas and poofy doof and let's
I
get
always
it
thought
done.
Robert Culp was funny, man. I dug Robert Culp.
Yes.
Connie Selica was fun to look at too.
Oh, absolutely. I'm gonna throw out my honorable mentions. They all appeared on your list except Greatest American Hero. I also had Law and Order and Knight Rider.
Right on.
Knight Rider was just too simple for me.
Oh, very simple. It was repetitive as hell.
Yeah, makes for a great ringtone.
I have the Golden Girls on my honorable mention,
Fantastic.
and Seinfeld.
I had an honorable mention, but again, nobody talks about it because he had a sordid, freaking scandalous, after the fact, was Tales of the Gold Monkey with Stephen Collins.
I saw that.
Oh yeah.
Oh,
that was
okay.
My mom used to love that show.
Mm. Oh, fuck,
was one of the-
Voyagers. I forgot about that. Shit.
Voyagers.
Voyagers.
Wow.
Yeah. Land of the Lost.
Oh my God.
That's tight.
There you go.
Great
Mark?
Space Coaster.
Coaster.
Great Space
Oh!
Coaster.
Go further.
Shit.
Banana Splits.
Oh, the banana splits. There you
Oh,
go.
I
The
need to
He-Man,
Marty
the
Clark
He-Man
did.
singers.
Yeah, or Hot Fudge.
Oh,
Wow.
the Electric Company.
I haven't thought about Hot Fudge in like
Oh,
3 decades.
Yeah,
That's
3, 2, 1, contact.
Battlestar Galactica.
oh, nice. All right, this one's mine, and I'll lead it off. These are the top 10 animated shows. So here we go. Number 10, I had to, like I said, lock it in. I had Voltron, but the version with the lions.
Not
All
the
right,
vehicles.
I was
Yeah.
gonna kick your ass if it was the fucked up cars. Shit.
No, the Voltron,
That
I had
was
all
fucking
the lions.
15
Right.
fucking vehicles. Jesus
the
Christ.
Voltron that is Voltron to me is the
Lions.
5 lions.
Yeah, well, that's
And I will form the head. And oh my Lord.
I got so much mileage out of those toys. I'm not gonna fucking lie.
that was another Japanese revamp of a Japanese anime style
Yes,
cartoon that
yes.
they redubbed and
Yeah,
changed the whole story.
It's Transformers. It's
It was the
another
first time I saw
Transformers.
blood in a cartoon. I was like, whoa.
Voltron was about lions.
It was about robotic lions that turned into a giant
Well,
robot.
yeah, the one
in the store.
version. The other version was,
was
like 31
12 or
cars.
15 vehicles that
It
joined
was
together.
30. It was 31 cars, literally.
Yeah.
That 31 different vehicles that moved together.
Yeah, they flew around on a fucking space carrier.
Yeah.
I never saw it.
But
I
the
never
lions
watched
were like the lions were kind of like a smaller single person at.
The lions
Where
were
they-
fucking cool. I mean,
Well,
Yes, they were.
But you know what I mean. They were a mechanical four-legged, but
Yep.
in the shape of a lion. Their bodies worked like lions. They were fast.
You know, it almost was like a cartoon Power Rangers years before.
You shut your whore mouth.
Yeah, dude, you just disrespected Voltron.
That's it. He's fucking out of here. I'm out.
And that was the
Where's
original Voltron you like, not
banned
any of
from
the
the
50
studio
reboots that
button?
they've
Where
done.
the fuck is that?
I don't care because I never saw it.
Oh my God! You never saw Voltron?
You got to Google Voltron.
I have never watched a single Voltron. I did not get into that. I didn't get into the Transformers.
Okay, was this your choice or was this like a Mommy Dearest thing?
No. I just didn't get into it.
Ladies and gentlemen,
there'll be no lion toys in this house
ever.
Ladies and gentlemen, for any of us who,
Joan Crawford,
any of you who have watched this show for any length of time, tonight Matt Marsh is on fire and nothing can put him out.
No,
wow!
So when those cartoons were on TV, I was outside because I would come home out or play in the yard, go next door to my buddy's house, be in the afternoon. So I missed out on a lot.
Understood. I had to babysit my brother, so I had to be in the house. A lot
is the way to put it. It sounds like you had a pretty fun little, outdoor.
Yeah, you probably had more fun than the rest of us.
I was a couch potato on my way to being lifelong obese. So, I mean, fuck it. I should have been outside playing.
I was fat, and I still was outside playing, so it didn't make a difference. I had a fucking creek in my backyard for crying out loud.
I think Herm's victims would have preferred he was inside watching cartoons.
Probably, but that's another story and another episode.
Yeah, you're busy playing Cowboys and Indians.
That's racist.
Hey, are you guys
I was
hearing
an
me
Indian.
Okay?
What are you talking about?
Is it racist if he's an Indian?
I'm not getting into that discussion.
Are you guys hearing me okay?
Yes.
Sometimes.
For the most part, yes, sir.
All right. Your mission, should you choose to accept it, is to look up on YouTube Voltron, but you have to type in the Lions version.
1980s, not any of this new shit.
Yeah, if you get the ones with the cars, you'll hate it. If you get the ones with the lions, you will love it.
Yeah,
well, there was two versions of that cartoon back then, Matt. Depending on what station and
there were
two complete different versions back then.
56 played the lions, 20 played the cars. I'm like, fuck you, 20.
Played the cars.
But
and what was the one what was it? G-Force?
Well, okay, Battle of the
Shut
Planets.
up, Harm.
I got that on my list, but that's going back. Well, I'll get to that. Go ahead. Continue.
Number 9 is G-Force Battle of the Planets.
G-Force with Gleek back at the fucking
Gleek. And the fat dude, I can't remember his name.
Tiny.
Tiny, thank you.
Tiny.
And he was all in green, and that was a great show.
Princess, Jason, and Mark.
Oh my God, thank you so much. I was struggling to remember their names.
And you had the years before transgender became a thing. Voltor, the evil dude. It was a skinny dude in a mask, and he had lipstick on. At least he did. And it was like for years, I'm like, is that a chick or just an androgynous as fuck cartoon?
That's it. That was big in Japan. That whole androgynous.
It was.
Thing. Lots of things are big in Japan.
Like me when I was in the weightlifting competition in 1972, right, Herm?
Heard. What's number 8?
Number 8 is the 90s Batman the Animated Series.
Oh, solid.
I think it was Kevin Conroy was Batman, and Mark
Batman and tons of shit. Yeah.
Since then, and Mark Hamill was the Joker. Yeah, fucking fantastic. Here, let's go down memory lane one more time. Number 7, Thundercats.
I got that.
Heard.
Do you really?
Yep.
Okay, your next mission.
Never saw.
You gotta look up Thundercats. What a great fucking show that was.
Yeah, that was solid.
I have a feeling that
we were getting a little long in the tooth at that point.
How come Lino, the only motherfucker that aged 30 years on that trip? I'm just saying.
Yeah, true. Because Panthro, Chitara, and the other dude
all stay the same.
Tigra,
they all the same. How come Lino aged fucking 25 years and in the sleep, and everybody else was like, nah, fuck that noise.
Well, plus those two kids stayed the same fucking age.
That's what I'm saying.
Yes.
Like they were kids too. what the fuck's going on with what fucking Lionel's pod,
Yeah,
bro?
that was
Got that fucking, the shit that
that was some ill thought out shit right there.
That's what I'm
They really didn't think that through.
Like, was there a
No, they didn't.
vitamin? Like, did he get some Bane juice?
And even
in
as
his
kids, we
pod?
all
Like,
picked up
what?
on that. We're like, what the hell?
Right?
He gets some Howard Stark fucking turn him
Listen to
into
you.
like
Yeah.
fucking Captain America vitamin, with a Vitaray. What the fuck happened in there?
Fucking A.
All
You
right.
might not want to know.
Maybe. Number
I
6. Fight me on this. I don't care. Fat Albert.
Oh, Fat Albert, that was good, wholesome.
Boom, boom, boom.
And there was always a lesson to be learned.
I'm gonna
Right.
play a song for you.
The Fat Albert could have been in my theme songs, and I said no. I'm going to save it for this for one reason, and you just brought it up, Matt. There was a lesson to be learned at the end of the show, whether it was bullying or whatever.
Even all through the show, yeah.
Yes.
And other shows
And it was-
didn't do that. I mean, it was a Filmation production, and other shows like He-Man and shit, they used to have those little 45-second lessons at the end. But Fat Albert was like the first one to really just kind of push it through a whole episode.
Yep. And after that,
Solid.
one of the other ones on my list did the same thing later on, but Filmation and Fat Albert did it first.
Right, G.I. Joe.
Yep. But one on my list is they had the 40-second blurb at the end of the episode featuring one of the characters. I'll talk about that in a minute. Number 5, South Park.
Oh, yeah.
There's a show that's been going on now for 24, 25,
That's
26
fucking
years.
amazing, man. I was
Never-
actually watching that the other day.
Think about this. Never gets old.
No. And those
Here's the
guys,
more-
it's like as soon as a world event happens, within like a week or two, there's like a fucking episode about it. It's crazy.
But there's 2 shows that do that. South Park has predicted the future numerous fucking times in the last 25 years. Seriously.
Much like The Simpsons, yeah.
Seriously, in the late 20 teens, they saw all this woke shit coming. They were talking about it about years before it happened,
Yes.
and poking fun at it. Which kind of gives you a perspective of just how woke they've been woke, just how long they've been for them to be pointing it out in like 2014, 2015.
Oh, for
And-
them to have the finger on the pulse was amazing.
Before the pulse even happens,
Exactly.
is my point.
No, that's fantastic. Great point. Number 4, I couldn't narrow it down, so I just said anything Looney Tunes.
Yeah,
I mean, if I could look at Herm for a moment and say, how many times have we quoted Looney Tunes over the years? Like, my mama done told me to go get the dinner. Or, any number of things that I want an Easter egg. I want an Easter egg. I want an Easter egg. Just stupid shit. But Looney Tunes, before, and I'm going to go back to Lynch's point on South Park, before woke became a thing. Nah. Would I lock my friend Rocky in this chest if you might?
I'd do
Rabbit.
that if my good friend Rocky was in there.
Shut up, Rabbit.
might.
Get out and push.
Get out and push.
Number
You
3,
might.
going back to Marsh's point with the 45-second blurb at the end, the Super Friends.
Oh, yeah.
Superman, Batman, Robin,
Yeah.
Wonder Woman, Aquaman, and whoever else they threw in. But at the end, it was like,
indeed.
today you saw Batman get in some trouble and Robin helped him. This is the framework of teamwork and yada 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 sis boom ba.
Mm-hmm.
Fucking amazing. Now I'm gonna get skewered by Lynch for number 2, and then I'll get skewered by everybody on number 1. Number 2, come on now. It's not my list if I don't list Beavis and Butthead.
no, it's on my list.
To this day,
All right.
how Mike Judge can take those 2 idiots and put them in modern day situations, and it's just phenomenal. And I just, for
But we're out
reference,
of firecrackers.
I made the list, and I'm like, does Beavis and Butthead really deserve to be on my list? So this afternoon on my day off, I watched Beavis and Butthead do the universe. No,
The original Beavis and Butthead with the announcement in the beginning.
Oh, yeah.
Yes. But I went back and watched Beavis and Butthead do the universe from 2 years ago. And I'm like, it's still fresh. It's still exciting. It's still amazing. And the fact that their newer episodes kind of cling on to modern themes with two kids stuck in 1997.
Mm.
And then they do the old Beavis and Butthead as 45-year-old gentlemen. Fucking phenomenal. Mike Judge is a goddamn genius, which leads me to number one. My number one favorite animated show of all time is King of the Hill.
Oh, okay.
I can watch King of the Hill on a loop for 24 hours straight, sleep for a half hour, get up, do it all over again.
Damn it, Bobby.
You see, sometimes what you have to do. And they totally ripped off Anderson from Beavis and Butthead, but it's Mike Judge, so he can do what he wants. Two honorable mentions. I got Bob's Burgers on my list. And, of course, He-Man, for all the reasons that Marsh brought up earlier. But if you remember the theme song, what always stuck out to me was what I call the He-Man singers. You have all these He-Man, and everybody's doing their thing. And then comes the interlude. Here it comes. Dun, 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 dun. He-Man. And you had the He-Man singers come out. That, to me, was...
Yeah, right before he was about to punch somebody.
Right. Dun, 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 dun. He-Man. All right, who wants to go next, Lynch or Marsh? I'll pick. Let's go with Lynch. Well, let Marsh be the main event.
So you mentioned already South Park, King of the Hill. Bob's Burgers is on my list. Looney Tunes, like you said, is really. I mean, that's what I grew up on Saturdays and Sundays watching. Woody Woodpecker.
Oh shit!
Super.
What was that last one?
Super Friends.
Okay.
Tom and Jerry.
Ooh.
Spider-Man and his amazing friends.
Nice.
Iceman, Firestorm, and the other guy who doesn't matter. Sorry.
And Scooby-Doo.
Ooh.
Which one? They've had, I mean, so many.
The original from the late 60s, early 70s.
Is that the one where they had the guest stars every week, like the Harlem Globetrotters and all that?
Yeah. Well, that was actually later on.
Yeah, that was in the 70s.
Yeah, because you had Batman and Robin, Sonny Bono and Cher. I mean, fucking crazy.
Yeah.
Very, very early 70s. Scooby-Doo's the first episodes were the bad guy of the week. Oh, let's see who the ghost really is, and it's the innkeeper.
Yeah, Mr. Jenkins.
But it also kind of backhandedly was a message show.
Oh yeah.
Very early on about honesty, integrity, fear. And I read I had this whole series of articles about like the psychology from the 70s, and it's pretty interesting. I have to find them again. They're somewhere archived over my very interesting to show this like how backhandedly crazy ass 70s cartoons were that we all watched growing up.
I don't want to step on Marsh's list, but after his list, I want to bring up something animated that has helped me, my daughter, and others through the years. I don't know that you can consider it an animated series. Maybe you can consider them shorts. I'll let it go. Marsh, you're on the hook. You're top 10.
Oh, okay. I didn't realize Lynch was done. Okay.
Yep.
Is Lynch done?
Yeah.
Okay.
Archer is an honorable mention.
Ooh.
Okay. Yep.
Wow.
It's funny. After I did this list, I was surprised to look at it and realize how many of these were like Filmation freaking productions. I was like, with the rotoscoping and all that shit. I was like, fucking A.
The Brown Hornet.
That was a good one. Let's see. Going back to the 70s, I had Tarzan, Lord of the Jungle.
Ooh, all right.
The Lone Ranger, who actually was voiced by what the hell was the guy's? I can't remember the dude's name.
Bob Backlund.
No. It was something Conrad. It was an old
white guy.
William Conrad.
Conrad. Yeah.
But they did his name in reverse. They changed his last name around.
Oh.
It was one of those weird pen name voice things. But anyways.
Okay.
I had G.I. Joe.
Mm-hmm.
Battle of the Planets, going back to the ones that Burns talked about earlier, that actually started as a Japanese anime. That was another example of something where they had a pre-existing cartoon, they Americanized the dialogue, changed a bunch of shit around, and that had like 6 different variations over the years.
Right.
Yeah, that was a decent one.
And like the Japanese, I mean the Japanese stuff, I've seen the anime stuff, but it's just way more violent and holy shit, you know.
Right.
I had Mask, which I dug a lot.
Oh shit, that could have been on the best theme songs too.
That was a solid theme song. I had Sky Commanders. That was a little obscure. It was only 1 season. Thundercats was on there, the first one, not the second 2 remakes they tried to do.
Yeah.
Flash Gordon, that was a Filmation one back from the late 70s, early 80s. Masters of the Universe from 2002, not the original, only because I thought the animation was better.
The Netflix one?
No, this was 2002. This was actually Cartoon Network. It was one of those Toonami things.
Okay.
But it was a progressive storyline where it wasn't like a 30-minute episode that was like independent of everything else. It kind of built on it, like to a greater story.
I'll have to look that up.
Robotech, which again, apparently we love taking Japanese stuff and freaking just taking it and redubbing
We're Americans. That's what we
and
do.
turning it into a whole story, you know, with completely different.
They do the same thing with our show. They do the same thing with us.
I'm sure. I mean, it's
everybody uses everybody's shit.
Yeah.
Right.
The Masked Singer. The Masked.
The who?
Came from Japan. Masked Singer.
Yeah.
That was I believe a Japanese show.
Iron Chef came from Japan.
Iron Chef, that makes sense to me, probably because of the title.
And before you go on, I'm really upset that Beat Bobby Flay does not involve shillelaghs and blackjacks because I want to beat Bobby Flay to death. That guy is smarmy as fuck.
I like Bobby.
He can cook, but when they say beat Bobby
good.
Flay,
it's only
give me a wiffle ball bat full of gravel.
It is. It's not. You only like. I say it all the time. You only cocky. You only cocky if you can't do it.
Exactly. And look, I get that, but
put up or shut up. Right.
Change the name of the show to Defeat Bobby Flay. You tell me to beat Bobby Flay, I'm bringing a wiffle ball bat full with gravel. That's it.
See, leave it to a Republican to instantly go to violence.
I'm a Republican now. I know. Joy. I watched that. Stop. I watched a DNC last night. I saw no joy. I saw revenge. But that's a different topic for a different time.
All right.
But
I got
it goes to show. Go ahead, please finish your list so Herm can fuck us all up.
And then I got an honorable mention, which was Tom and Jerry. I freaking loved Tom and Jerry growing up.
Nice.
So did I.
Jen and I were talking the other night about shit. We were talking about like Jen, like our cartoons were so fucking racist. Like,
oh yeah, they were.
Like every time, I was just saying, every time something blew up in someone's face, Jen, and their face was black and the hair was blown back and like braid pointy things and the big lips.
Yes.
She's like, oh my, she's like, oh my God.
What about the Asian caricatures? I mean,
she said that.
Oh,
every fucking child. Every time you see someone on a cartoon, he talking like this of Mr. Charlie. It was so bad, but we
didn't give a fuck.
Now
I didn't like when we didn't get half of that shit.
Yeah, but how many Looney Tunes characters have been freaking just written off of existence? Pepe Le Pew.
Oh my God, that Yosemite Sam. They had to tone. They told the writers to tone him down because Foghorn Leghorn. If some of those aren't some of the most stereotypical.
Oh God. The
male and female roles.
The gender too. Oh yeah.
Well, no. Just how they're very strong for each category. You know what I mean? Like, just and a lot of the shit is sexist as fuck. You never see a human in Tom and Jerry. It's only the maid, and it's always
Jemima.
black.
Yep.
She's always
Thomas.
Black. Yep.
Thomas.
The housekeeper, the maid, the worker's always black.
You always see her big Aunt Jemima feet.
Yup.
Yep. No shit.
But as kid, look, and here's where I'm going to
None of
delineate.
us really, none of us saw it that way. And
No, we saw it as
they were drawn long ago.
We saw it as entertainment, and so did our parents, and so did our parents' parents, which to many of you are grandparents. To some of you, they might be siblings. We don't know. All I know is we didn't look for things to be offended about. We were looking for entertainment, which is why I always say if Blazing Saddles was played today, you'd see 9 seconds of that movie. 9 fucking seconds.
Stuff.
Oh, come on, dude. Pick any Tom and Jerry episode, and they wouldn't be storming the fucking castle because it's inherently violent.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Dude, the fucking Roadrunner was throwing anvils at the coyote, for fuck's sake.
They were dropping rocks on each other. And
Mighty Mouse was the most violent cartoon on TV one year. I remember that shit.
Oh, yeah.
I love Mighty Mouse.
God. This is the part of the show. This is the part of the show where the not so fat man, and I'm saying that with love. You're not fat. You're just big boned, right, Cartman?
No, I'm fat.
No, we're talking about the other one. The guy who's actually lost weight as opposed to you who have maintained weight.
He's lost a bunch of weight. He's just had
lost 48 fucking pounds.
He's on a nice plateau right now.
Yeah, I got to stop that shit. That's my own doing too. It wasn't like the last one where I didn't know what the fuck was happening. Marsh
knows as much as the rest of you. If I don't fuck with you, it means I don't like you. So Herm's gonna hermit. He's got a top 10 list, and we all have to go shotgun to try to keep up with him. This is scaring me right now. I got the fucking vein in my forehead.
Based on the gist I got earlier, I don't even know if I'm going to understand any of this because it seems to be about back in the.
You will. There's only like one you won't really get. All right.
Okay. This is scaring me a little bit.
I wish I knew 10 motherfucking people because I'd call them in here and each have them do a line and like a Letterman episode. But here it is. We're not Herman it. We're Lettermaning it. Yeah.
Okay.
So top 10 reasons Herm didn't do a fucking top 10 list.
Okay.
Number 10. Wait. I woke up late. Wait.
Oh, wait, time out. Remind me after. I gotta bring up the animated thing to Marsh.
Here, all right. Here it is. Right here. 10. Wait.
I woke up late.
We have a topic. Number 9. It's Trump's fault. Number 8. You see, what had happened was
I got a note from Epstein's mother.
You think I'm lying, don't you?
Number 7, because Sue, that bitch.
I was waiting for it. Fucking Sue.
Number 6, the Democrats.
All right.
Number 5, it was too high in calories.
That's a Marsh thing right there.
Because one of these kids is doing his own thing. That was number 4.
What else is new? It's Herm.
Number 3, ISIS. Number 2, it was too hot.
It was too hot?
Yeah, it's just too hot. It's Pueblo. It was just too hot today.
All right. Yeah, you can fry an egg on the sidewalk. I get it.
And the number 1 reason Herm didn't do a top 10 list.
Because he's the producer.
You. No.
Amazing. I'm going to go back to the animated thing for a minute for all of you. And I'm going to call on you one by one. So if any of you, Herm, decide to chime in early, Herm, before you're called on, Herm, that's that. So would you consider, even though they were shorts, 3 to 5 minutes, Schoolhouse Rock
I knew that was coming.
to be an animated series? I'll start with Marsh.
Well, they've released them on DVD, so I guess I could go with yeah. I mean, they've released a collection.
Yeah, and they were featured in between some of the cartoons we've all talked about, the animation.
As an adult, I appreciate looking back on them. As a kid, they were an annoying pain in my ass.
I
That was
loved them
interrupting
as a
my
kid.
Super Friends viewing.
Okay,
Are you kidding me? I still fucking sing those songs today.
Well,
fuck
that's
yeah! I'm
probably
gonna
why
tell.
you didn't get an 810 on your SATs, huh?
No, we got higher. Let me tell you a story,
Yeah,
Marsh.
I did. I spelt my name correctly and,
Right.
and got that. And then I
You
did
got
the
an
rest of the
811.
fucking then I did the rest of the fucking test.
Well, if I
Lynch,
had listened
Lynch,
to fucking the thing that became a bill.
Lynch is the outlier here because I can look at the other two of you and say, "Do you remember Mr. Mello?"
Oh yeah, I
And his
remember.
wife
I
Marsha.
dropped that fucking class because he wanted to teach freaking the Civil War for freaking 8 months out of the fucking
Oh,
year.
I was down with that.
Not my issue. Final exam, 1989. Yep, because it was my junior year. The first question on the exam was write verbatim the preamble to the Constitution. And I'm like, the preamble. All of a sudden, my foot starts moving. It starts tapping. We the people, in order to form a more perfect, and I'm writing and I'm tapping. I hand in my test. He looks at me, dead ass, and says, "Schoolhouse Rock." What? He goes, "There's one of you every year that taps their foot and goes down the Schoolhouse Rock rabbit hole."
That's how I answered that question in his class too.
Yeah, you're tapping your foot. We the people, in order to find. Dude, there's not a day that goes by that I don't count shit for inventory and sing this. 3, 6, 9, and I'll pause. 12, 15, 18.
You know which one fucks me up really, really bad almost every day?
Which one?
1, 2, 3, 4, 5,
4,
6, 7,
5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12.
That's the electric company. That's the electric company.
Well, I only saw that on Sesame Street.
Mm-hmm.
They
were sister shows.
I know, but PBS never had CPTV. The local, we had Boston, and then the local channel never had it. But yeah, so that one.
I sat my daughter in front of Schoolhouse Rock when she was studying something, and I'm like, watch this. And she went and aced her test. She's like, where'd you find this? I'm like, find this? This found me.
Yeah, whether you want to or not, it was in your face every fucking weekend.
Every Saturday, you sat down, you watch your Super Friends, you watch Batman and Superman, they're fighting the Joker and fucking Luthor. Yep, and then the next thing you know is 3 is a magic.
Conjunction, junction, what's your function?
Right? Or Interplanet
the world.
Interplanet Janet, or any of the science, the digestion
there
one.
There was Science Rock.
Science, math, history, and English. I had a t-shirt in the 90s and people loved it. I would wear this to concerts, wrestling matches, wherever I could. It was the superhero that said verb. That's what's happening. I wish I still had that. I couldn't fit into it, but I wish I still had that shirt. Say again?
You get it over your head.
Basically, yes.
Well, that one of those songs is the way as I wanted to redo the theme. Remember, I wanted to do Dysfunction Junction.
Yes,
with
your wife singing.
Yeah, and so much dysfunction. And then I
think about it.
But yeah,
one of my favorite ones was, and it was unfortunately because we're in the middle of the pronoun parade, was I knew a guy named Xavier Sarsaparilla, and
Luther Xavier Sarsaparilla.
I never heard that.
But he had an aardvark. Or lolly, 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 get your adverbs here. Or
yep.
I unpack my adjectives.
Get your adverbs here. Yes.
Father, son, and lolly, get your fuck. 50 years later, we still remember that shit. That's how important these things were.
Well, it's funny because I remember the words to all this shit, but you guys took it and were able to apply it in school settings and shit. I didn't correlate this as a fucking something that actually had school applications. So,
Okay, so I full disclosure, I was 17 years old before I actually applied it to a real life situation. Mr. Mello, final exam, history, write the preamble to the Constitution. It's just, I'll never forget that day as long as I live. But I walked up, I handed it in, and he just looked at me and goes, Schoolhouse Rock. That's all he said. Like, what? There's one of you every year.
I mean, at least the teachers had to acknowledge that it was valuable.
Of course.
Oh yeah.
And when you look back at, like, to this day, I can't count by fives. If I'm counting $5 bills, I'm singing that song. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, 45. I'm singing the fucking song.
I don't know a K through 12 teacher on the planet. I don't know a K through 12 teacher on the planet that knows of those that would think ill of them. Think ill of them. My mother thought they were great.
The mother of invention. The one I remember is Eli Whitney. Thank you for the cotton gin. I could tell you shit else, but Eli Whitney. Thank you for the cotton gin.
It's funny because there's some of these I have no recollection of at all, and other ones it's like, holy fuck.
And I think with me, it's the ones I saw repeatedly that I remember. Like,
well, yeah, me too.
And then
I'm just a bill on Capitol Hill.
That one and the lolly lolly one.
Yeah, lolly lolly lolly. Get your adverbs here. Those are the ones I saw over and over again.
I have no recollection of one about the Constitution preamble at all.
I do. The same thing. Anytime it's funny.
I'll have to YouTube that shit. Maybe it'll come back.
Something will unfold.
Yes.
And then the stuff, and then the blah blah blah. I'm just singing the thing and the thing. And then they open the document. They open the document with this. We the people, and you can't help but remember it.
Well, yeah, because you've been programmed.
Right. When you were 7 years old, you thought, this is bullshit.
Yes,
but then you become But when you become 17 years old and you're sitting in Mr. Mello's class and you're tapping your foot and you get the fucking answer right, you realize
my kids are watching all of this shit. That's what I realized.
I bought Emma a 4-disc set of Schoolhouse Rock, and she learned so much.
I've bought both versions they've released of all of the songs. They've done 2 separate albums of the Schoolhouse Rock songs.
Do you remember the album that came out in 98, 99 of alternative bands playing these songs?
Yeah, it was awesome.
Get the fuck out, really?
It was great.
Yeah.
I think it was called Saturday Morning something or other. I'll find it.
Saturday Morning Rock or something like that.
Not me,
and it was a bunch of alternative bands doing...
Whoever did 3 is a magic number should get a Grammy for that.
But, yeah, they're really good. It's really good versions of all of that shit.
Let me look that up real quick. I'm gonna find it.
I mean, I remember the WWF wrestling album. I had that.
Of course you do. I had that too, but you know.
I've never owned one of those.
It was
neither
amazing.
have I.
I listened to that shit till it broke.
Of course you did. Which I wanted to do a top 10 it was called Schoolhouse Rock Rocks. Currently available pre-owned. How do they do this? Pre-owned at Walmart.com for $6.14. You can get it on Amazon for $30. Let's see what the track listing is if we can. I had this record. It was fucking phenomenal. All right, track listing. So you had the Schoolhouse Rock opening theme song, Schoolhouse Rocky. You had I'm Just a Bill. 3 is a Magic Number was actually done by Blind Melon. Conjunction Junction was Better Than Ezra. Electricity. Oh my God, what another one.
3 is the magic number. Yeah.
What the fuck is that?
Magic number.
3 is a magic number.
Somewhere in that ancient mystic trinity, you and 3 is the magic number. present, the future.
Make them hope and truly.
Blind Melon.
Oh my God, yes. Conjunction Junction was better than Ezra. Electricity was by Goodness, never heard of him. No More Kings was by Pavement. The Shot Heard Round the World was by Ween. Zero My Hero was the Lemonheads. This freaks me out. The Energy Blues, which I'm gonna have to look back. Bismarcky.
Hey, didn't they have one where they were dumping tea into the fucking Boston
Yes,
Harbor?
No More Tea.
Okay.
Let's see. Verb, That's What's Happening was done by Moby.
No shit.
That scares me. Interplanet Janet was by Astroman. Lolly Lolly Lolly, get your adverbs here, was Buffalo Tom. Unpack Your Adjectives was Daniel Johnston.
Oh shit.
Fuck me running. An amazing lineup. Now, there was another one, and Herm brought it up. Herm kind of alluded to it. Saturday Morning, I got the title wrong, where a bunch of bands did like the Fat Albert theme song and things like that.
Cool.
Saturday Morning, and it was like a zombie guy eating cereal. It was fucking fun.
I was not familiar with that.
Well, now you are. You really didn't think this through, did you?
Now I am. I'll be damned.
There you go.
I'll be dipped in.
Let's go around the room. I'm just going to do it. Go around the room, starting with Lynch, and I'll pick the next one. Favorite Schoolhouse Rock ever?
Loudly, loudly, get your adverbs here.
Okay, that's a good one.
That was
Marsh?
a catchy tune. Yeah, I'm going to go with that one as well. That was a catchy little tune.
I'm torn. Either I want to go with 3 as a magic number, or I'm just a Bill.
I never heard 3 as a magic number. I do remember the Bill one.
Look it up. You by the end of it, you'd be like this: a man and a woman had a little baby. Yes, they did.
Well, it doesn't help me get into college now, does it?
No, not with an 810 on your fucking SATs, you dipshit. Herm, favorite Schoolhouse Rock ever?
I'm just a Bill.
I'm surprised nobody picked Conjunction Junction.
Oh, I forgot about that one.
I like the other.
It might be the catchiest tune, but it's not the one that sticks in your head the most. Because if you say, like, our show, Dysfunction Junction, Herm brought it up. Dysfunction Junction. You remember the tune, but you probably don't remember a lot of the shit that was involved in it. You just remember Conjunction Junction. What's your function?
That's all I remember. Whereas the adverbs, I know most of the lyrics in my head. You know what I mean? Because again, that's what I heard all the fucking time. That's every week, guaranteed on a Saturday, whatever. At my grandmother's house, that's what would play.
Oh no!
Right.
I was watching wrestling.
So was I. Top 10 80s wrestlers of all time. We could make a great list. A great list.
Bob Backlund.
Bob Backlund should be on your list.
No, he's all 10.
I like the way you think. Listen to you.
Bob Backlund makes 11.
Stop. And wait.
He missed
all
it
right.
that much. It's just
in the 80s. Yeah, he only had like 3 good years.
In the 80s, like he doesn't make the top 10. It just
yeah. All
70s
right.
Pull some 90s years in, but the 80s he didn't really have a whole hell of a lot of nothing. That
on
was
the greatest of all time. He's top 10.
Backlund was kind of the end. He was the end of that, and that was the beginning of the Hulk and the Superstar era.
Understood.
Yeah.
Well, since Marsh brought it up, at some point we have to talk 80s wrestling. We're gonna have a good time.
That'd be sweet.
Ooh,
because that's the only era I'm really familiar with. I kind of left the party after it, got into fireworks and pyrotechnics and all that other craziness.
And transforming women into
well, that, and I mean, we had back in my day, you had 2 women. You had the fabulous Moolah and Wendy Richter. I mean,
Good point. Good point. Nowadays, you got my future ex-wife, Liv Morgan, fighting my other future ex-wife, Rhea Ripley.
Yeah.
And it's just a skin show from the get-go.
Yeah.
Boy,
I mean,
are
I
those
left the
two
party
women
before
gorgeous.
China showed up and all that.
China was a man, I think. I don't know.
Wow, she had a very big clit.
Like a little penis, but different.
Yes. Yes.
You have an
Thank you,
enormous large
Thank you,
clit.
Kevin Smith.
Emma?
The end of the last Clerks kills me when she walks in and she says something about you're not worth a shit, and he says you got the enormous clit.
Yeah.
Fucking amazing. The kites are flying. The kites are flying.
Touche, Clerks.
Touche, clerk.
I may never be able to stand in his spot, but I certainly can buy it. Here's your money, blood woman. I love that movie.
He's got a movie coming. He's got a movie coming shortly.
420, I think it is. Is it 420 or 430 or something?
The 4:30 show about 4:30 show about going to the movies. I guess as a kid.
Yeah.
I saw the trailer. It looks
out.
okay. I'll check it out.
I'll check it out. I mean, there's only been. Go ahead.
Go ahead. Good, please.
There's only been a handful of his movies I just haven't even seen or not interested in. I mean, Yoga Hosers was okay. Tusk, didn't watch it, and the fucking Bennifer shit I didn't get involved with.
Jersey Girl.
Red State was good.
I didn't see that.
Very good.
Was Red State? No, I'm thinking Cop Out was the one where him and Bruce Willis freaking got into it, right?
Oh, dear Christ.
Yep. Cop Out.
I'm going to send you guys a trailer in a little while. Movie comes out in September. I just want you to watch the trailer and give me your honest opinion. These two guys watched a movie that I recommended, and they liked it.
Okay.
And then they watched another movie I recommended, and they liked it. So this is my third. The first one was What is a Woman? The second one was obviously The Iron Claw. Want to get into 80s wrestling?
I saw that in the theater. I liked that.
So did I. Oh, it was fucking fantastic.
I mean, and I was vaguely familiar with the Von Erich, the clan, but the movie, I was like, if nothing else, it made me want to look up the actual history more. And I was like, okay, because Kerry Von Erich was really the only one I was familiar with.
I was just never big on the Von Erichs, straight up.
Well, I wasn't either.
But I could never care less.
I remember seeing Kerry Von Erich in the magazines, years ago, and that was about it. But
yep, I was a huge Von Erich fan, and when they said they were making a movie, and then COVID hit, and then they finally finished it, and me and my buddy Skip went to the theater in Mystic, because we were all talking about Mystic in the comments the other day in our private chat. Grabbed our beers, he grabbed his popcorn. I can't eat popcorn. Grabbed our gimmicks, and there we were. And we watched the Von Erich story, and he and I were both doing this. Okay, they got that wrong.
Yeah.
Okay, they got that wrong. But in total, if you're a non-wrestling fan who doesn't know the history of this family, this was a fantastic story of family and tragedy.
It was. The story was good. I enjoyed the story.
Oh yeah.
I'm a shitty wrestling fan. I was really big into the freaking the 80s era of the WWF. I didn't know shit about the ACW or any of these other freaking, or Southern wrestling or any of that other stuff. I was all about, if there was a fucking cartoon and Junkyard Dog was there and this and that, and there was they guest started on the A Team and what the fuck, I was there, but that was it.
My brother is famous, and he told this story the last time I was down in Florida, where we were thumbing through channels, and he goes, "What time does wrestling come on?" And I'm like, I'm trying to find it right now. And it was NWA Worldwide Wrestling. The main event that day was Ric Flair and Barry Windham.
Wrestling.
And he goes, "No, what time does wrestling come on?" I'm like, "Oh, you want WWF wrestling? That's on an hour later."
You want Vince product.
Yes.
That was me. I was like, I didn't even know Vince owned the fucking thing at the time. I thought him and,
I didn't know it until the mid
like
'90s, and Herm and I were like, Herm and I were in the same room, like, he owns this shit.
Yeah, I had no idea.
It was amazing. There was no better time, to your point, Matt, that the 80s were the best time for this product.
But I think
Amazing.
it's my age too. I mean, being a kid and it's like this was just fucking. You had the toys and the ring and
Doesn't matter.
Yeah,
Go
but
back.
before that, you had guys like the Wizard.
Oh shit, the Wizard,
the what?
Curtis Ayakea, who was big in the 70s and then got a gimmick.
Then got a gimmick.
I mean, I remember seeing Bam Bam Bigelow at like Norwich Tech or something. It was
fuck yeah.
Fucking.
Think about a guy, and I'm going to go to Marsh on this one. Think about a guy who you probably did not know that I did because I was watching all of this shit, then comes to the WWF, and he is all of a sudden the king of wrestling, Harley Race.
I remember Harley Race.
Dude was on the road for 30 years, comes to the WWF, he's the king of wrestling.
And now all of a sudden, who's this guy?
Right? You're like, who's this fat old bum?
Yo, for real, they put a crown on him. It was the same as Lawler. God rest his soul. They put
Lawler's still alive. Stop it.
I'm just saying, like, just playing safe. You know, he wins King of the Ring, and they use Jerry the King.
Yep.
Jerry the King had been Jerry the King since the early 80s in Memphis. Not to bore you people to death, but he just took the gimmick with him, and then
he rebirthed it, and
right.
But yeah, they've used that. They use that King designation quite often. Now it's just referred to as Tribal Chief.
Well, they still do King of the Ring, and I'll never forget 1995. June of 1995, sitting in my apartment having a pay-per-view party. Everybody pays $5, to help offset the cost. And there's pizzas and there's beer and sodas and everything. And Mabel, you remember Mabel? Herm?
Mabel.
Yeah, was crowned King of the Ring. And Herm looked at me and went, yeah, I don't think I'm going to watch this shit anymore.
I was away from it for years, and then this freaking movie came out in the mid-90s. And I watched it, and I love this fucking movie. And the movie's not that great, but it had like all these people like Sting and everybody else, and Diamond Dallas Page. I'm like, who the fuck are all these people? It was Ready to Rumble.
Fuck yeah!
And I watched that movie again like 6-8 months ago, and I still fucking enjoy that movie. I just, but it's weird going back to what you were saying about the different personas, because I remember going on Wikipedia in recent years and looking up guys I thought I knew. Like, famous dudes, and you're looking, and there's like, it shows like what their aliases have been, their different personas. They've got 8, 9 different that I'd never even fucking heard of.
Yeah,
from like other divisions.
Yeah, depending on region.
Yeah, even Hogan and freaking the rest of these guys. Like, this is fucking nuts.
One of the top guys now, who I very much enjoy, his ring name is LA Knight. And he is phenomenal in the ring, on the microphone. Everything he does he's just on point. But if you look him up on Wikipedia, he's probably got 16 aliases from shit he did in other companies. The thing with the WWE or WWF back in the day is they want to own your IP. So if you came in, I'll throw one at Herm. Watch his face. Kurt Hennig / Mr. Perfect.
Right.
You can't own Kurt Hennig because you were born with that name.
But if they can make everybody stop calling you Kurt Hennig and call you Mr. Perfect, now I own your name.
Correct. Going back to what we were talking about earlier, Kerry Von Erich. When he first came in, it was the Texas Tornado, Kerry Von Erich. Give it 5 weeks, you forget because they're going to make you forget, kind of like the government. They're going to make you forget.
Now they just say the Texas Tornado wins again.
Bingo.
And after you see a month or two of shows, you are calling him just by what they want you to.
Right.
Oh, shit.
Exactly. So when the big boss man leaves and goes to the other company, they're scrambling to find a name for him.
I wasn't even paying attention, which is what they're counting on.
Yeah, exactly.
Exactly.
Yeah, really, like every time Mean Gene brought somebody in, and here it is, and here comes the Texas Tornado now.
Nobody knew except for maybe me and 18 others, that Scott Hall had a career before he became Razor Ramon.
Right. Part of the Twin Towers.
Did you guys ever meet any of like the groups of wrestlers outside of like the WWE? I was
More
flying
than
to
my
Dis-
fair share. More
I
than
was
my fair
flying to
share.
Disney World one year out of Bradley, and they were getting ready to go to one of the cities, and the Iron Sheik, Nikolai Volkov, Randy Savage, they were all together in the airport.
Cheeky baby.
And as a little kid, you're thinking there's gonna be a fight, and like it was like culture shock, like the Twilight Zone, because the Iron Sheik's hanging out with a junkyard dog, and they're bullshitting around, and you're like, what the fuck is going on? And I mean, it was crazy from like a kid standpoint, because you're like TV is real.
Oh yeah. When
But now you're seeing all these guys like hanging out bullshit and stuff, and I'm like, I couldn't process it.
in 87-ish, we were putting my grandmother on a plane, God rest her soul, back to Cleveland. And we're sitting in the airport, and we look up, and here comes Billy Jack Haynes, Paul Roma, George the Animal Steel, and a couple of others. And my brother is just like, I'm like, we got to go get there. We got to go talk to them. We have to go shake their hands, do something. So who do we approach first? Fucking George the Animal Steel, like retards.
Heard, Professor.
Right. And we're like, it's great to meet you. And he looks down at us and he goes, hey, it's great to meet you too.
Holy shit, he speaks.
He can fucking talk and his tongue's not green.
Exactly. So
Nice to meet you, kid.
I went and talked to everybody except Paul Roma, who at that time was like lower level, whatever.
It was like
And Matt went straight over to Paul Roma. Had a great conversation with him, got his autograph, whatever. I went to Billy Jack Haynes, who is now a crazy motherfucker. Herm, you remember that Crime and Sports we listened to with Billy Jack Haynes? What a fucking shit show that guy is now. And he comes back and he's got Paul Roma's autograph. I'm like, why did you get his autograph? He's a bum. He goes, he's going to be somebody someday. Fast forward 7 years, he's introduced as the fourth horseman. And Matt gives me the elbow and goes, told you.
Mr. Wonderful.
That was his partner, Paul Orndorff.
Paul Orndorff?
Yeah,
Oh,
Paul
shit.
Orndorff and Paul Roma had a tag team.
Yeah, he fought in WrestleMania 1 with Piper.
Yes, he did. Look at that.
They were
We gotta
tag
have the
team
wrestling.
against Hulk Hogan and Mr. T.
Not to exclude Lynch from all this, but Lynch, did you like 80s wrestling? Could we have an episode about 80s wrestling?
Yeah, probably, because that's the era I'm most familiar with.
All right.
80s into the early 90s. I stopped
I can
watching,
almost
say, like,
guarantee that Lynch probably knows more about it than I do, because I'm just, like I said, I was all about TV shit.
I stopped
Oh,
watching
good.
wrestling at about 1995. Like
Oh,
2001.
fuck me.
Then I came back
Okay.
in 2001, 2002.
All right.
I was mid-80s right up to high school, and then I stopped. So,
Let's do
I-
this. Let's draw a line in the sand. 1980 to 1995.
okay.
And we'll have a conversation next week.
All right.
That could
Right on.
that could happen. That could happen. Fun fact. My was in the Navy with Jesse Ventura.
No shit.
Yes. In the same platoon or whatever the hell squad they call them, and then Jesse went to Bud's training to become a SEAL.
Mhm.
Wow.
That's
But
pretty
yeah,
sweet.
they served together. He later in life, he became friends with Sergeant Slaughter.
Who was
I remember
never in
meeting
the
Slaughter at
military, by the way.
Subbase.
Yeah, Sergeant Slaughter, hell of a nice person.
I guess his
Oh, yeah.
daughter's a big podcaster and shit.
Yeah,
Yes,
Kelly.
I can't- Yeah, that's her name, Kelly. I could remember. Yeah, she's a big podcaster. But yeah, I would enjoy that because that's really where I'm the most
Anything
knowledgeable.
takes me back to freaking, happy childhood memories. I'm good with.
There you go. We're gonna make Matt happy.
Well, I got into wrestling by accident. I wasn't into it, say like
I don't know how I got into it. I think it was just because it was accidentally on after Saturday morning cartoons, and I'm like, what's this?
well, that's what I mean. So, but my dad and son, who was a little bit older than me, George, he watched wrestling.
George.
So George, the comic artist, Chris.
Got you.
So he's a year and a half older than me. So Saturdays were spent at the Deep's house. So I started watching wrestling with him, so it became this regular Saturday thing for years and years and years. And I kind of enjoyed it, like mostly because I was watching it with him.
All right,
I started watching it on my own.
I'm gonna make a list of like criteria for 1980 to 1995, like favorite moment, the oh shit moment, favorite wrestler, give or take, yada yada yada. But if any of you did not, Herm, did you watch a lot of wrestling in the 80s?
Yes and no.
The day that Andre turned on Hogan on Piper's Pit is off limits. I'm saying it now.
Okay.
And Marsh is walking away. He's like, "Fuck this game. I'm out."
Kirby.
Well, if you can't have that, I quit. Fucking
Right.
throw the. Wow. What a. Well, all right. Marsh, I'm going to say it again. When it comes to when I send the criteria out and the best moment in wrestling from 80 to 95, Hogan being turned on by Andre on Piper's Pit.
Part.
All right, it's out. You cannot choose that. That is everybody's 80s go-to.
Okay.
All right. I'm going to send a list. We're saying it now. Next week, we're taking a 15-year run. 80s wrestling. 80s to 95.
Sounds good.
All right. What do I hear? I don't hear anything. There we go. The drums are in the background. We're going to get out of here. Tomorrow night, Speedway Review, all things Michigan, and I might have a special guest pop in, not on the feed, but right next to me because my daughter's driving down. We're going to Six Flags on Thursday, so
right on.
Look out for Emma on the feed. And past that, Herm's got a get off my lawn moment, which I'm excited to hear.
That's gonna be sweet.
So that's a speed review Wednesday nights. Thank you to everybody on the panel. Thank you to all of you who decided to tune in, either live or after the fact. And we collectively are out of here.
Up on you at first light. I'm the hand of God. I'm the dark Messiah. I'm the vengeful blood. In the blackest moment of a dying world, what have you become?
I will put you in the camel clutch, break your back, fuck your ass, and make you humble.
Whoa, easy, Shiki.